Hey everybody, my name is Dr. Trey with the Trans Trainer, where I provide physical therapy, post-op programming, and fitness coaching to other queer and trans folks. I had some requests about additional swelling after top surgery and how we could possibly control that with kinesio tape. So I'm going to do a little demo on how we can use KT tape for lymphedema release. So our lymphatic system runs throughout our whole body, and at the major joints is where those lymph nodes sit. So for our upper body, that's actually in our armpit. So our goal is to get this fluid up towards our armpit, and then eventually you pee it out. Now, one of the ways we can do that is using KT tape. I'm using some rock tape this morning. I'm not affiliating with this brand by any means, but I like rock tape because it tends to stick longer for my folks. So even though it's a little bit more expensive, you're putting it on less frequently. So I like rock tape. Now, I got this off a long roll. You can also buy pre-cut strips, which is nice. You don't have to sit and round the edges. But if you did get it in a long roll, what you want to do is you're going to cut the piece shorter than what you actually want. And what I mean by that is our goal is to go kind of from our upper shoulder area down to our incisions. Now, if those look like scars already, if you're a few weeks out and those are pretty sealed, you can bring it over your incision line. If they're pretty fresh yet, you want to go just shy of that. So depending on how long you need it, you're going to be stretching this tape. So cut it shorter than what you need, okay? And then we want to round the edges because that is less likely to get caught on your clothes and it just stays on longer. So after we rounded our edges, now you're going to make some fingers in the tape. I made about 4 fingers in the tape, and I just cut slits up. But I'm leaving the top 1 to 2 inches solid because that's our anchor. So don't cut all the way up, just cut to there, okay? Now, when we apply this, make sure your skin is clean first. So, just getting out of the shower, if you need to alcohol it off so it really sticks, that's fine as well. And then because the tape itself is a fabric-y material and the backing's paper, you don't have to sit here and peel the backing off. You can actually rip. So I'm going to rip right at where the fingers attach to the rest of the tape, and I'm just ripping the paper backing. Now I can peel the backing off my anchor. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick that anchor down first, kind of up in this upper corner. Now it doesn't have to be perfect, okay? The adhesive on KT tape is heat activated, so you're going to rub that in really good, okay? Now you're going to lay your fingers. If you've had recent nipple grafts, you want to go around the nipples. If they're older and you're pretty well healed, then no problem. Or if you didn't have grafts at all. Now I'm going to take 1 finger off at a time of the paper back, and I'm going to take it all except maybe the last 1/2 inch to 1 inch of paper off. Now I'm going to be pulling this to create some stretch and then laying it down. And at the very end is I'm just taking that paper off and sticking it down. So this is a principle for all of KT tape, not just when we're talking about swelling, but the ends do not get tension. The middle is where there's tension. So that if you tension it all the way to the end, it's just going to want to roll back up and fall off. And when we're KT taping for swelling, we don't need very much stretch. I'm doing maybe 10 to 25% pull on this tape. As opposed to if you're KT taping for support of a muscle, we tend to put a lot more stretch on it. So I'm just going to go through with all of these fingers. And lay them down, getting that little bit of stretch. Laying them down, rubbing them in. Now this stuff is waterproof. You can shower with it. You can swim with it. What you want to make sure though is that when you come out of the shower and you're toweling off, that you just pat dry, because if you rub really vigorously with the towel after, it tends to fall off more. All right, getting my last finger. And these don't have to be like perfectly spaced or anything like that, right? Every little bit's gonna help. But I'm just kind of spreading them around. Totally something that somebody else could help you with as well. That got a little close there, but so I'm making this big spread, and the whole goal is to get that swelling to pull up towards my lymph nodes. And then what we tend to do is we do something called a basket weave. So we're actually going to use 2 pieces for this. So I have an identical piece. And now instead of coming up to the top of my shoulder, I'm actually going to come sideways underneath my armpit and across. So I'm going to do that same thing. I'm ripping the back, right where the fingers meet the anchor, meet that base, and I'm taking the paper off that part. So I have my nice anchor. I'm gonna stick that down kind of up underneath my armpit here. Okay, doing that nice rub in. And now I'm gonna do my fingers a little bit more horizontally across the other ones. Again, doing that about 25% stretch on the tape, not at the ends. The ends don't get any stretch. So you can see I keep the paper on until way at the end, and then I just pull the paper off and stick it down. Now, what you can do before you put this giant piece on is put it in a small area of your skin to test to see if you're allergic to adhesives. If you are allergic to adhesives, don't use KT tape. And this can be left on anywhere from 3 to 7 days, okay? So you can shower with it, sleep with it. So I have my nice basket weave, okay? So it's going up and over, and it's keeping all that tight. And I put mine over my incisions because they're really far out. But again, if yours are really fresh, you can stop shy, okay? You can keep this on 3 to 7 days. If it's getting red, if it's getting itchy or irritating your skin, then please take it off. But that's how we can tape to help with swelling drainage after top surgery. If you have any more questions or you have requests for other videos you want me to make, drop me a comment and I'd love to help out. Thank you.